Hi there, Austin Hope here. Tonight we're going to do a little cooking. We're going to do a little cooking with the Graciano. So Graciano is what they call the happy accident at the tasting cellar. If you've been there and tasted this wine before, it's called that because we actually intended to get what they call Monastral, which is a Spanish varietal or a Spanish version of Mourvedre. So it was a great clone. We waited forever to get on the list to get this clone, and we got it, planted it. After a couple of years, we see it growing, and I'm like, man, this thing doesn't look like the Mourvedre that is planted next to you. I don't understand. And so I started looking. We make our first vintage. And I'm like, this tasted nothing like Mourvedre, and couldn't figure it out. It was super high in acid, really dark, and just it ripened different than our regular Mourvedre. And so another year goes by, and I call a friend of mine, Justin Smith from Saxon, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to send you a ton of this Graciano we just got. He says, send us a Monastral clone we just got. And he says, no, I have some. I actually was on the list too. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So what do you think? He says it doesn't act like Mourvedre. And I said, no, it doesn't. So long story short, he sends it in, gets it DNA'd, and find out that it's not Monastral. It's actually Mourvedre. Mourvedre is the name for Graciano. So you can see the mix-up, right? When the butters were making the grafts and they went in there, and maybe it was Monday morning they were hungover, I don't know. But they went in and said, okay, we gotta make all these plants. We gotta do the grafting. For Monastral, they saw it, Monastral, Mourvedre, they grabbed the Mourvedre, and away we go. So there was about, I don't know, a handful of us here that ended up with small amounts of this new clone that was supposed to be the greatest thing going for Mourvedre. Anyway, so that's why it's called a happy accident. I was frustrated for a very long time. I'm just starting to get over it, and I think it's been like 8-9 years. We figured out how to farm it, how to make it, and it turned out to be a really cool wine. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. And being that's a Spanish varietal, we're gonna do a little Spanish dinner. So out in front of you is pretty much most of the ingredients. Over here we've got pinto beans that we made homemade. So if you guys are afraid of making things homemade, don't be. So it's super easy. Pinto beans are not hard to do. Get nice pinto beans, rinse them, put them in a pot, soak them overnight. They'll swell up, and then you start cooking them the next day with chicken stock, garlic, onions, things like that, and whatever you like to add. Make sure you add some fat to it, either butter or manteca, one of those. Now they take, they'll take about 4 to 5 hours in the daytime on a low temperature setting to actually do them right. So that's going. Then we made Spanish rice. Again, another thing that's not hard to do. So you just take whatever rice of your choice. You don't have to use white rice. I use brown jasmine rice tonight. And really, it's pretty simple. You just you take onions, chop them up, then cook them for a little bit in the pan with some olive oil to get them nice and soft and the flavor to be expressed. And then add tomatoes, diced tomatoes, and then add some tomato paste. And put that in there, and then I usually put some bell peppers, or if you like it spicy, put some jalapenos in there. Mix it up, cook it, turns into Spanish rice. Pretty cool. Throw some cilantro on top of it, and you're good to go. The main course, we're gonna do tacos tonight. So what this is from Brian Flannery. You guys have heard me talk about him before. He's a good friend and a great meat purveyor. I think one of the best. And this is a pork rib cap. So I think you maybe have heard me talk about beef rib caps, which is the outside edge of a prime rib. So think when you see a prime rib, the best part of the prime rib is always that outside, the very marbled, more fat in it, just super tender, really flavorful. So this is the same thing, except it's from pork. So this is the pork rib cap. So tremendous amount of flavor, good marbling, plenty of fat, so it's gonna be really nice. We're gonna put it seared on a La Crusette, and we will chop it up and make it into tacos. Then we've got corn. So there's different ways to do street corn type concepts, right? This one is, so I've roasted these in my salamander. If you don't know what a salamander is, it's basically a broiler. You see them in every restaurant and everywhere you go. They're always in the back, and you'll pan to it, you'll see it. It's basically a broiler. So it's 1,000 degrees, super hot, super fast. If you, and I'm gonna use that, I've already used it once to cook these. But then when we finish them, you can either use a broiler or a salamander. If you have one in your house, you should. I'd recommend it highly. If not, just use your oven and put it on broil, and it only takes a few minutes. So what I made here is, so I don't know if you guys, sour cream's an interesting thing, right? But this regular sour cream you buy, it's fine, but for whatever reason, this Oaxaquina, they call it, sour cream, this Mexican sour cream, it's unbelievable. It's got a flavor, it's just unlike no other. So I always use that. So that's what's in the bowl, and then I really love this Valentina. It's great, so I put a bunch of Valentina in there to your pleasure. It's not a super spicy one, it's just got a lot of flavor. Obviously salt, you guys know me. And I put a little apple cider vinegar and then squeeze some lime in it, and some pepper and cilantro. Stir it up, right? We've got this little concoction here. And then what we do is just slather it on this corn, and then when we're finished with we're just about done and ready to plate our meal, we'll throw this in the broiler for like 2 or 3 minutes. The flavors will set in on it. We'll pull it out, and we'll throw a little bit of cilantro and then a little cotija cheese. That's the other thing that's in this as well. There's some cotija cheese, another little Mexican cheese. It's amazing cheese. It's got a really good flavor. So that's it. We're gonna get going. We're gonna start cooking some stuff. All right, we've got our rib cap. Here we go. Put a little butter in, or olive oil, whatever you prefer. I always like butter. Butter works best. So we're just gonna put it in here. So this is basically a cast iron is what it is. I like cooking with these things. So it's a La Crusette. This is who makes this one. It's a great little pan. It evenly distributes all the heat, so they're really nice. That's what's great about cast irons. You know, the difference in a regular pans is cast iron, the whole metal gets hot. So like this side of this wall here and over here and over there, it's typically all gonna be the same temperature, so it works really well. So we'll check back soon. Show you guys what's cooking. Okay guys, we're back. We're ready. So I took the corn. Remember I broiled it, roasted it, however you decide to do it. Just put it in there. Then I chop it off of there. Put a little more cotija cheese on it. A little cilantro. We've got our plate here. So we've got our Spanish style rice we made. Our Spanish beans. Our corn in the middle. We're going true tapas style because Graciano is a Spanish variety. So we've really gone. So we've even got little tapas tacos. So the way to do it is just put a little bit of pork in there, and then we just start going down the line, right? Going in the condiment line. I always like put a little bit of fresh crema on it. Put a little more. I love onions. Got to put more of those on there. A little more cilantro. And then we got little jalapenos. Then we want to take a nice little, look at that. How good does that look? That looks so good. Get that like that. These are nice, right? Because you can eat, like you can justify to yourself eating like 3 tacos because they're so small. They're just tiny little tacos. Why couldn't you eat 3 of these guys, huh? Lay them in there. And there you go. We're in business. We've got Spanish tapas with Graciano. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something. If not, well, we'll keep trying. But so there they are. The little babies are ready to roll. And then it wouldn't be me if I didn't finish with a little bit of salt. Always gotta have a little salt. Voila. Thanks for all the support, guys. Thanks for watching. And I hope you enjoy the meal.